Welcome to Jwhackers, or welcome back. My name is Jessie and I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you are interested in this kind of content. Today's video is going to be a debt update. So this is going to be all of the progress I made on my debt in April. Plus I've got some coloring to do on my debt-free charts here. When I did my debt update last month, you guys know I was not feeling super great, so I never colored in my charts. So I needed to do that, plus update you guys on how April went. So April was a pretty rough month still for my health. I was still really struggling with the itching and the rash and the monumental, like, irritation I was going through. And so we were off budget for most of April. I didn't even write a budget. We just swiped our credit card constantly. We had a ton of things that we purchased this month. We got new beds for both my sons. We also bought my mother-in-law a new bicycle because hers was stolen, and there were things on top of that. I got a new Nespresso machine. Like, we were just shopping like crazy. And so I thought that I was going to have to sit down and humbly tell you guys that we accumulated a bunch of debt in April, but I just sort of finished reconciling everything, pulling money out of my sinking funds to cover a lot of the purchases we made, and our sinking funds really saved us. We are not adding any new debt in April, and that in and of itself is a major win, because I really thought I was gonna sit down and tell you guys that we have like $1,000 more in debt. But luckily we had plenty of money set aside for sinking funds. We also had some extra income come in this month that helped offset our spending. And so while we did not make a ton of progress in terms of paying off debt, and you will see when it comes time for me to stuff my sinking funds for May, we are not saving a ton of money for sinking funds this month. I'm just thrilled to have broken even. It was a really terrible month for me. I am praying that May is a good month, because I've really been struggling the last couple of months between losing my sister and then dealing with my health issues and everything. Like, I could just really use a nice calm month of May. But for now, let's talk about our debt. So we paid off our Citi card back in February, and the Citi card is the card that we put absolutely everything on. Remember, I was telling you guys we swipe the card. The way that we work our budget is we use that Citi card for pretty much everything and then pay it off at the end of the month. Excuse me. And then we pay it off at the end of the month. So all of our bills that we can pay with a credit card go on that credit card. All of our groceries get put on that credit card. And we do that because it's a really good rewards card. We get a lot of rewards. And so we had accumulated a balance on that Citi card from swiping it all throughout the month, and then at the end of the month we had spent more than we had paid, more than we could pay. And I really thought, like I said, that that was going to be the case again this month, but luckily we were able to break even. So that has kind of led me to rethink that plan. I really like the idea of using that Citi card because we do get so many rewards points that we can convert to cash. But I think I'm going to try paying it more regularly and definitely being better about keeping track of what is being spent, when it's being spent. I've just been really loosey-goosey with my budget in general for the past few months. I went back and looked at some of my old budgeting videos, and I used to be so much more strict with our spending. We had a much tighter budget then. We were much better at just minding our money, and we've really gotten away from that. So I'm hoping that May is going to be a really good month. I'm going to be able to tighten everything up, and we're not we're going to be able to make some big money moves with our debt starting in May. But like I said, because April was such a crazy month, I'm just really excited to be able to have broken even for the most part. So last time we checked in, my Chase card was down to $1,000. This is the card we are currently working on. And so for March, I still need to color in my chart down to about here. So we did make some big progress in March. But then for April, just a little teeny tiny bit of progress. So what we did was we paid our minimum payment. I'm just gonna fold this in half and write this in. So in April, I believe it was on the 15th, we made our minimum payment. And the minimum payment that we have been paying to the Chase card is $70. So that was the minimum payment when we first started tackling this card. It has since technically gone down. We don't have to pay $70 anymore, but that's kind of like the minimum payment we set up for ourselves. We will never send less than $70. The only time we might consider sending less, my apologies, I can't talk today, is if we were really like struggling for money or whatever, but that has not been the case. So we started with a balance of $1,000. We paid $70. That brought it down to $930. And then you guys know how much I really like even round numbers. So I did go ahead and make a little bit of an extra payment, but not nearly as much as I wanted to pay towards this card. It was just, you know, with the month that I had, did the best I could. So let me zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So I did pay an additional $30 in order to bring this card down to $900. Now luckily we are on a no interest promotion with this card, so we don't pay interest. So that is our true balance. So in April, we paid an additional $100 to this card. Or we paid a total of $100 to this card. Not a lot, but like I said, considering the month I had, I'm really happy that we didn't add debt to this card. So what I'm going to do then, really quickly, is color in my chart. We're going to color, excuse me, down to this 10-20 mark in March colors. So you guys know I like to choose colors that sort of match the month, in my opinion. So for March, I'm going to use greens because that's what I like to do. And then for April, I'll use purple because purple just seems like an April color to me. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my markers, color in my chart, and then we'll go ahead and update my other debt trackers as well, though those aren't going to have very little progress because those were just minimum payments. Okay, so it's very, very sloppy, but there you have it. That is my Chase card chart updated. By the way, if you're not familiar, this chart here is from Debt Free Charts. It's a free downloadable printable. I will link debt-free charts down below. And the debt tracker that I'm using comes from my Etsy shop. This is a printable download as well. You can get it for just a couple of bucks, and I will link that below as well. So that's my Chase update. We're down to $900, so we still have, you know, quite a ways to go, but the fact that I did not have to add any debt, still, I'm calling it a win. I'm excited about that. So you can see we made just a little bit of progress in January, a little bit of progress in February. March was significantly better. We made quite a few extra payments in March. Just a little bit of progress in April. Hopefully May we'll be able to pay off a good large chunk of this. We'll have to see how it goes. Okay, then I have my Ashley card, and again, this was just a minimum payment. So we focus our efforts on just one card at a time. We pay the minimum payments to everything else. So for my minimum payment for our Ashley card, we paid $156. And so that's going to bring our balance down here. Let me just open up my calculator. Started with $3,146.80. Subtract out that $156. That takes us down to $2,990.80. So that's exciting to be down below $3,000 there. So once again, we'll have some coloring to do. I have to go back and color in for March and for April. I'm going to use those same colors. I'm using mild liners, by the way. For March, I'm using the color blue, green, and green. And then for April, I'm using violet and magenta. So just going to go ahead and color this in really quickly. Shouldn't take me long because these were just minimum payments. So not a ton of progress, but progress is progress no matter how small. So there is my update for my Ashley card. Again, really long way to go with this card, but we're making progress. And then lastly is my First Merchants Bank card. And once again, we just made the minimum payment for this one. And the minimum payment on this one is $58. So it barely makes a dent in this huge balance, but you know, we're chipping away at it. So we started the month then with $5,613.52, and we paid $58, which takes it down to $5,555 with 52 cents. And in terms of this chart, I really need to make a new one because I numbered it completely wrong. You know, we've made 4 payments and we still haven't been able to color in a line because it's supposed to start at $57.87, and for some reason I started it at $5,600, so I need to print out a new chart. I might do that off camera, color it in, just so I get a better representation of my progress. I really like the visual of the debt-free charts. It really helps me to see how far I've come, how much progress I made in each month. So I'm going to redo this chart. And when I do my next update, you guys will have an updated look at my First Merchants Bank card. Can't wait until we are tackling this card because that debt is so huge and so overwhelming. But alright friends, that is my debt update. I'm so thrilled that I did not have to add any new debt. It's been a roller coaster of a couple of months, and I'm really hopeful that May will be the month that I can finally get back on track and do better. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Like I said in the beginning, I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, friends.